Good morning there, everybody. We're live everywheres. This is a very exciting day. Um, Good morning from San Francisco. Hello, Germany. Go ahead and tell us where you're coming from in the chat. We like to see it. Good morning, Kenya. Today's episode is pretty special for it had just happened to end up being our 50th episode, Satya. Can you believe that?
Oh, wow. That
Yeah,
just lined up.
yeah.
Is my voice okay? Or do
Yeah,
you? Okay.
you sound fine.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll formally start in just a minute, letting
Hmm.
people join in.
Huh,
Yes,
Kigali, I've
yes,
never heard.
yes.
Must be a city somewhere.
Hello, Portugal, Kansas, India, Germany again,
Nice.
Rwanda.
Oh, Rwanda, that's where, okay, awesome.
Good morning, France, Colombia, Cameroon,
Portugal, Quebec.
Quebec. That's right.
India. Hey, folks.
Kansas, I see another Midwest person.
Hey,
Hmm.
Chicago people.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
Pakistan, nice.
So yeah, I mean, before we properly start the show, what in the chat, take your bets, place your bets on who's going to win this thing.
So we have Catherine, Scott, Vikas Reddy, and Joseph Nelson, who are
Hmm.
the contestants.
Hmm.
All right. Should we get started? Let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever AI game show. We have three esteemed contestants from the AI and CV industry. Catherine Scott from Open Robotics, Vikas Reddy from LightTwist, and Joseph Nelson from RoboFlow. Our host is the charming Luna Malbrough from Joy Channel, and our own Phil Nelson is the judge. The three contestants will compete for $6,000 in prizes for their favorite charity. And we will have many prizes for the audience as well. And at this point, I want Phil Nelson to take over.
All right, yeah. Hey, everybody. Good morning. This is OpenCV Weekly Webinar number 50, if you can believe that. We've got a heck of a show for you here. We'll be watching the pilot episode of the OpenCV AI game show. As Satya said, there will be $6,000 in prizes for charity up for grabs. Everybody will get some share of that depending on how they finish in the trivia show. There's 3 rounds. We explain the rules in each round. Before that round, there's a little bit of Jeopardy, a little bit of Millionaire, a little bit of Hot Seat. It's really exciting. I'm really excited for you all to see it. I feel like I've been up for a week, but I think it's worth it. I just want to say, quickly, thanks so much to Luna and Kat and Joseph and Vikas, I guess, for being on the show, and thanks so much to our sponsors at Intel for making this possible. Hopefully, we will have the opportunity to do many more of these for you. I'm going to share my screen now. So contestants and what? Go ahead.
One more thing, the set, you'll see a beautiful set. It is designed by LightTwist, Vikas's company. So thank you, LightTwist as well.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're super excited to see this in action.
Oh, Satya, you got to let me share my screen.
All right, should be good.
Okay. And I'm going to share a video. Yes, so host and contestants, go ahead and mute yourselves and turn off video for us, please. Thanks. All right. Enjoy. Hello and thank you for joining us on this new adventure. OpenCV AI Game Show is a 3-round trivia contest sponsored by the Intel OpenVINO Toolkit. Don't worry, we'll explain the rules as we go. OpenCV and its partners are not responsible for any lost or stolen items. Please keep your head and arms inside the game show at all times. Hello and welcome to the OpenCV AI Game Show. I'm Phil Nelson. You may remember me from such webinars as OpenCV Weekly Webinar. Let's meet today's contestants. Catherine Scott, a developer advocate for open robotics. Vikas Reddy, CEO of LightTwist. And Joseph Nelson, CEO of RoboFlow. And now your host, Luna Malbro.
Welcome again, everyone. Hello to our esteemed guests, and thank you to our generous sponsors. Our first place winner today will receive $3,000, second place will get $1,500, and third place is worth $1,000. All of our contestants today are playing for a charity of their choosing. Just to remind everyone, round one is the buzz-in round, where contestants choose from categories of questions, and the first to buzz in and answer correctly gets 314 points per question. Let's see the categories. Quotable notables, fame names, data and lore, and moving pictures. Kat, you won the random selection before the show, so the board is yours.
Let's go with data and lore.
All right, data and lore, question one. In 2016, the AlphaGo, a Go AI bot developed by DeepMind, stunned the world with a 4-1 win over professional Go player Lee Sedol. A more refined version of AlphaGo called AlphaGo Master defeated the top world player in 2017. But the best was yet to come. In October of 2017, a newer version of AlphaGo called AlphaGo Zero was developed. What made AlphaZero so special? Joseph?
It was trained without using any human-labeled data.
Joseph, that's correct. AlphaGo Zero was trained without human data. Where are we going to go next?
Let's try data and lore again.
All right, data and lore question number two. In October 2020, an experimental satellite became the first into orbit with an AI chip on board, the Intel Movidius 2 Series VPU. What is the name of that satellite? Anyone?
No idea.
We still have no idea.
We were looking for FISAT-1. FISAT-1. Joseph, you retained control of the board. Where are we going next?
Maybe let's try quotable notables.
Quotable notables, question one. Sometimes you just kind of phone it in for a year, you know? I didn't do a whole lot of research this year, spent a lot of time on Twitter, played around with GANs a little. That's how the paper describing a big update to a popular object detection architecture begins. Which paper or architecture is it? Joseph.
That's the YOLO v3 paper from Joseph Redman, and it's hilarious.
That is correct again. 2 in a row for you. You still have control over the board.
Let's try quotable notables again.
All right, quotable notables, question two. Finish the quote by speculative fiction author William Gibson. The future is already here, it's just blank. Kat.
It's just not evenly distributed yet.
That is correct. The future is not evenly distributed. That's 314 points for you.
Let's finish out quotable notables, I believe.
All right, still in quotable notables, question three. Finish the quote by Facebook AI chief Jan LeCun. If intelligence is a cake, The bulk of the cake is unsupervised learning. The icing on the cake is supervised learning. And the cherry on the cake is... All right, Vikas.
Reinforcement learning.
That's correct. Reinforcement learning. Vikas, you have control over the board.
Let's do moving pictures. Feeling good about that one.
This is Moving Pictures question 1. In the 1987 film Predator, the Predator's invisibility effect was achieved by having the actor wear what color suit? Joseph?
The suit was red.
That is correct. They wore red because it was the furthest opposite of the green of the jungle and the blue of the sky. So,
I'll go with famed names.
Famed names, question 1. What is the name of the subclass of machine learning which adapts and learns to represent the world as a layered hierarchy of concepts? Joseph?
Neural networks.
Sorry, Joseph, that's incorrect. Vikas?
I'll guess deep learning.
That's correct. Where are we going to go next?
Let's go back to moving pictures again.
All right, Moving Pictures question 2. This 2001 film based on a video game series was the first mainstream film made completely with motion capture and also one of the first to use photorealistic CGI characters. Anyone? Anyone? The answer we were looking for was Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within.
Yeah.
Vikas, your choice again.
All right, let's go back to let's go to data and lore.
Data and lore question 3. This term, based on the Latin word for broken, coined in 1975 by mathematician Benoit Mandelbrot, was used to describe geometric shapes containing detailed structure and arbitrarily small scales. Joseph?
Fractals.
That's correct, Joseph. Benoit Mandelbrot coined the term fractals. You just gained control of the board.
Let's try data and lore once more.
Data and lore question 4. The DARPA Grand Challenge is a prize competition for American autonomous vehicles, started in 2004. How many of the 15 teams who qualified that year actually finished the challenge? Vikas?
I'm gonna go with 0.
You are correct. The answer is 0. None of the cars were able to finish that challenge. Isn't that crazy?
We finished as many times as those teams did.
Yeah, that's true.
Where are we going?
All right. Let's do feeling good about moving pictures. See if I can tie Joseph for the lead here.
Moving Pictures question 3. In the 1980 sitcom Small Wonder, Tiffany Brissett played an android built in the form of a 10-year-old girl. What was that character's name?
1987. I would have been 3 years old. Joseph, were you even born yet?
Go easy, go easy.
The answer we were looking for was Vicky, an acronym for Voice, Input, Child, Identicant. Pronounce Vicky. Vikas, you still have control over the board.
All right. Let's go with quotable notables.
Okay, quotable notables question 4. Finish the quote by computing legend Alan Turing, whose test is still used today. A computer would deserve to be called intelligent if it could blank. Vikas?
If it can fool a person into thinking it's human.
That is correct, but technically the right word that he said was deceive.
You've deceived the judges, Vikas.
Yeah.
You retain control of the board.
All right. Okay. Let's do famed names.
Famed names question 2. This well-known AI pioneer was co-founder of Google Brain and also served as the director of the Stanford Artificial Intelligence Lab, also known as SAIL. Joseph?
That's Andrew Ng.
That's correct, Joseph. That's 314 points. You have control of the board.
Okay, let's go with one of the last ones. Infamed names, please.
This cinematic robot is very sorry, but he can't let you do that, Dave. Name the bot and the film. All right, Vikas.
It's Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
We're gonna need a little bit more.
HAL 9000.
That's correct.
Let's do moving pictures. Let's close that out.
All right, question 4, moving pictures. The 2001 film AI received 2 nominations at the 74th Academy Awards, one for Best Original Score and one for this award, which was ultimately won by The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Vikas?
Go with special effects.
We're gonna need a little bit more.
Oof. I will go with VFX.
That is correct. The answer was actually Best Visual Effects.
Lots of deception from Vikas.
I'm actually a touring bot right now, fooling you into thinking I'm actually good at this game. All right, let's do the last question. Let's close this out.
Famed names, question 4. And this is the last question of the round. You may not know Susan Bennett personally, but you may have had a conversation with her. Who is Susan Bennett? Vikas again.
I'm going to go with Siri.
That is correct. She is the voice behind Siri. Let's go to Phil for a look at the scores.
Yes, it looks like round 1 was definitely Vikas's round. But we've still got 2 to go. Back to you, Luna.
Round 2 is our multiple choice round where each contestant will be put on the hot seat and asked a series of 5 questions with up to 4 answers to choose from. Each correct answer in round 2 is worth 420 points with no penalty for incorrect answers. Let's take a moment to get to know our contestants. Hey Kat, you're a developer advocate at Open Robotics. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I'm the developer advocate for an organization called Open Robotics. You may know us from such software as Robot Operating System, ROS, or Gazebo.
And what charity you're playing for today?
Yeah, I'm playing for 2 organizations. We're going to smash them together. Part of the money will go to the nonprofit wing of Open Robotics, and then the other side of it will go to the Open Source Hardware Association.
All right, Kat, since you were the lowest score coming out of round 1, you'll go first. Let's see if we can even up those scores. Question 1. The human level error rate on ImageNet dataset is estimated to be 5.1%. This human level accuracy is measured by A, a collection of 512 randomly sampled people, B, a collection of 112 undergraduate students at Stanford, C, a collection of 91 annotation experts, or D, one dude named Andre. Kat?
It was actually one dude.
That is correct. All right, question 2. In 2004, DARPA organized a $1 million autonomous vehicle grand challenge where teams competed to complete a more than 150-mile course in the Mojave Desert. In 2004, none of the cars could complete the course and no prizes were awarded. In 2005, however, 5 vehicles successfully completed the 212-kilometer course. What is the furthest distance in miles covered by any car in the 2004 challenge? A, 7.32, B, 150.12, C, 99.76, or D, 20.2.
Well, so the one in 2005 was not that impressive, so I think they didn't go that far. So I think it's a 7 miles.
All right, that's 2 in a row, Kat. Question 3. The famous Lena image used in image processing and computer vision papers are scanned from A, National Geographic, B, New York Times Sunday edition, C, Cosmopolitan, or D, Playboy.
D, I'm pretty sure it's D Playboy because I own a copy and it's some edition in the 70s.
All right. right. I wasn't aware that was in your collection. That's actually 3 in a row. Good job, Kat. Who would have thought Playboy would come in handy right now? Question 4. ImageNet is a popular dataset in computer vision comprising more than 14 million images over 1,000 classes. There is one animal that is overrepresented in the dataset. Is it A, dog, B, cat, C, cow, or D, horse?
Also, it's the internet, so people take a lot of photos of their pets, usually cat or dog, if you're lucky a horse, but not normally a horse. I think more likely it's dogs.
4 in a row. Last question, question 5. Intel's Microcomputer Research Lab published a paper for a highly optimized computer vision library called CVLib in the year 2000 at CVPR. The open source version of the library is better known as OpenCV, OpenVINO, Intel Performance Primitives, or Intel Math Kernel.
Don't think it's the last one. The last two. I don't think those are real things. OpenVINO is more of an instruction set, so I think it's probably OpenCV, which I think is A, right?
You got all 5. Let's go on to the next contestant. Joseph, you're up. Joseph, you're the CEO of RoboFlow and a known Iowan. How's it going?
We make developer tools for engineers to add computer vision into their products, even if they might not be machine learning experts. A little over 100,000 developers, including half the Fortune 100, build with our products, but a lot of hobbyists and students too. So you have like the Walmarts of the world working on cool stuff. Then you also have individual hobbyists. Like one that I saw that was really fun was during the pandemic, a cat owner wanted to ensure that his cat was getting sufficient exercise. So he created a robot that detects where his cat is, and then attached a laser pointer to a robotic arm, and ensured that that robotic arm was consistently pointing in a 10 feet radius away from his cat. So it's pouncing around throughout his living room, which is more exercise than I did in my living room in the pandemic. So shout out to Dave for that amazing application.
And which charity are you playing for today?
Today I'm playing for the National Speech and Debate Association, the NSDA. They support high school speech and debate across the U.S. Speech and debate was an activity I participated in throughout high school and college. Actually paid for part of my college and was really formative for my education. So I thought it'd be a fun way to give back to an organization that's given me so much.
Question 1. Dr. Andrew Zizerman, a top English researcher, was once accused of being a German spy in certain circles. What did he do to invite such accusations? A. Developed an object tracking algorithm used by Germans in the Second World War. B. He proved that the infamous Wembley goal by English captain Geoff Hurst in the 1966 World Cup was in fact not a goal. C. Developed a calibration algorithm that was free for use in Germany but patented in England. Or D. Created a compression algorithm for images and licensed it to the German military.
Candidly, I'm not familiar with this circumstance, but I think I can reason my way through it. The first answer there of object tracking, be pretty impressed if that was capable and live in production during World War II era. So I doubt that's it. Not to mention, I think that like accused of a spy versus like convicted of a spy, I think that one's pretty black and white for getting into trouble. I lived in UK for a year, and I think they're pretty serious about their soccer or football, if you will. And that sounds pretty ideologically aligned with something that can get someone in hot water. So I'm going to go with that one. He identified the Wembley goal, or called into question the infamous Wembley goal. And it also sounds too specific to have been made up. So that's where that's what I'm going with.
That is correct. Question 2. On June 15, 1898 in Palo Alto, California, a remarkable experiment was conducted by photographer Edward Muybridge, who was commissioned by Leland Stanford of Stanford University fame. Edward placed 24 cameras, 27 inches, and mechanically triggered them to create the first video. What debate was settled by this experiment? A. All four legs of the horses are in the air sometimes during a gallop. B. Silver iodine was the best material to use for fast photography. C. There was a great demand for motion pictures. Or D. The fastest mechanical shutter speed achievable in that time was 1/15 of a second.
Okay, I think I actually have some familiarity with this one. The debate around popularity of film is pretty funny. I'm not sure that that would be a big debate at the time. And it also strikes me as odd. I'm not big into photography generally, despite working in vision, but it would strike me as odd that the denominator would be 15 for that answer. And I think I remember the horse debate being a real thing that was settled at the time of the creation of video cameras. So I'm going to go with the debate that was settled was that a horse gallops with all four hooves in the air during its stride.
That is correct. 2 in a row.
Yeehaw.
All right. Pick the odd one out. A. Geoffrey Hinton. B. Jan LeCun. C. Joshua Bengio. Or D. Eugen Schmidhuber.
Okay, so all deep learning researchers, a number of them with experience in Facebook Artificial Intelligence Research Lab and or Google, like Geoffrey Hinton and Benigno. The Eugen Schmidhuber, however, a European-based researcher, so that kind of stands out. I think perhaps the more independent research side also stands out to me compared to some of the published works of the other aforementioned authors. So I will take Eugen Schmidhuber as the odd one out, just kind of a hopefully educated guess.
Correct. While the first three are recipients of the Turing Award, Schmidhuber is not. This has led to a lot of controversy. Question 4. Who famously said that machine learning is 99% dot products? A. Elon Musk. B. Marvin Minsky. C. John McCarthy. Or D. Jeff Bezos.
That was Elon Musk, which is pretty funny that someone that is running one of the foremost vision companies is also such a, I don't know about downer, but reductionist when describing the techniques, but I'm very confident that it is Elon Musk.
That is correct. 4 in a row. A branch of computer vision deals with surpassing the limits of a digital camera using computational means. High dynamic range imaging, super resolution, etc. are problems in this domain. What is the name of this subfield? A. Computational photography. B. Supervision. C. Hypervision. Or D. Augmented reality.
Well, there's definitely some startup names in there. I'll start with that. And actually, before hearing that question, I didn't know what HDR stood for. And I know that that's associated with, of course, professional photography of bringing together 3 different views of the same subject. So I'm going to go with A, which I believe was the photogrammetry-based approach. The computational-based photography approach.
That is correct. Congrats, Joseph.
All right.
All 5 answers were correct. Vikas, you're up next. All right, let's take a moment to get to know our contestants. Vikas, you're a CEO of LightTwist. Tell us more.
LightTwist lets you create a customized virtual studio, much like the one we're in now here, this game show, and use it for capturing and streaming video. So even if you don't have a great physical space and you don't have a videographer, you can still create amazing looking video. I also want to give a quick shout out to my wife, Elaine, who's amazing, and I love you, honey.
Aww. And what charity you're playing for today?
So I'm playing today for Ukraine, specifically for refugees that are escaping the conflict and all of the horrible destruction that's happening right now. And I've got several people that are just friends and former colleagues that are all over Ukraine, especially in Kharkiv, that was hit especially hard, or is being hit especially hard. So it's a cause that's near and dear to me, and yeah, I'm just hoping for the best for everybody that in Ukraine.
All right, Vikas, first question. Which of these people are real? The left one, the right one, or neither?
So looking at the left one, his glasses are definitely messed up. Like there's a little peek through. You can see like there doesn't look physically possible that light would refract that way through his glasses unless he's got something weird going on. So that one's fake for sure. On the right, her collar looks a little bit weird too. So I'm gonna go with both of them being fake.
That is correct. Both of these images are actually acquired from thispersondoesnotexist.com that uses StyleGAN2 to generate the images.
Awesome.
Question 2. An idea was proposed by James Clerk Maxwell, perfected by Prokudin Gorsky, and it delighted Tolstoy. Which idea are we talking about? A, the idea of using 3 filters, RGB, to produce a color picture. B, the idea of using electromagnetic interference to produce sharp images. C, a precise mathematical model for lenses. Or D, a never published science fiction novel by Tolstoy.
So I'm pretty sure Tolstoy never wrote a sci-fi novel. I feel like I would have heard about that. Maxwell definitely makes me think of optics, so the lens equation is pretty interesting. And what are things that would have delighted Tolstoy? I guess I'll go with color, the color lenses.
Correct. That's 2 in a row. And in fact, you can find some of these photos online still today, and they look really cool.
That's amazing.
All right, question 3. Pick the odd one out. A, GPT-3, B, BERT, C, TNLG, or D, Inception.
So GPT-3 is like a NLP language-based model. The middle 2 I don't really know. The last one is a technique in deep learning where you can feed things back. Basically, you have like in a deep network, you have the ability to have certain parts of the network feedback to previous portions, I believe. I guess I'll just go with Inception.
That is correct. The top 3 are natural language processing, NLP models. The 4th is a vision model.
That's actually interesting. I thought that you could use Inception maybe for other, just more generally, but maybe not. Also, I'm surprised there's not an Ernie model. There's BERT.
Question 4. An early neural network called the Perceptron by Frank Rosenblatt was hyped up by the media. The New York Times called it the embryo of an electronic computer that the Navy expects will be able to walk, talk, see, write, reproduce itself, and be conscious of its existence. The hype around the Perceptron came crashing down hard when Minsky and Papert showed that it cannot solve classification problems with nonlinear decision boundaries. The most famous of these failures is known to the AI community as the A, AND problem, B, OR problem, or C, XOR problem.
I think the first 2 and an OR can be solved using linear boundaries, and so I'm going to go with XOR.
That is correct. 4 in a row. Last question.
I'll get my eyes sharpened.
What is the name of this famous 3D model? A, Montana Teapot, B, Utah Teapot, C, Jewel Teapot, or D, Michigan Teapot?
All right, so I'm from Michigan, and I've never ever heard of a teapot like that, so it's definitely not that one. I'm pretty sure it's not Montana. I've never heard of anything related to computer vision or graphics related to that to Montana, at least recently. It's either Utah or Jewel, and I feel like I've heard here. For some reason, I feel like I've heard it in both contexts. So I'm just going to guess and go with. I'll go with Utah. Utah teapot.
Correct. You
All right.
also got all 5 correct. All right. Everybody nailed round 2. Let's go to Phil right now for a look at those scores.
Coming out of round 2, the order of the scores has not really changed, but all 3 contestants added some big points to their totals. Back to you.
Now it's time for Wrong Answers Only, where you and the audience decide which contestant gave the best response. Visit opencv.org/gameshow to vote for your favorite. This image was generated by a method called VQGAN plus clip. What is the name of this rare and majestic animal?
What do you think that image was, Kieran?
Storm bunny.
You think it's a storm bunny? I was gonna call it Hyper Bunny.
No, it's called the Storm Legend bunny.
Okay, are you sure? That's what you think it is? Okay, all right, we'll go with that. It's, I guess, final answer, gonna go with Storm Bunny for this.
No, it goes Storm Legend bunny.
Storm Legend Bunny? Okay, all right, we'll go with Storm Legend Bunny. Sounds good.
So what kind of animal is that? Well, first, it's not an animal, it's a GANimal, and GAN stands for Generative Adversarial Network. And so, few people know this about me, but I'm actually an expert in small mammals. We hang out all the time. But that animal specifically, you can just tell by the coat and the orientation of the eyes and its just general habitat there that is a nightmare rabbit. There's no second guessing what that animal is. It's a nightmare rabbit.
It's a misty Tuesday. You're out on your nightly scavenger hunt to ensure you have sufficient subsistence for the rest of the week. Above, in the clouds, could it be the rare, the majestic, the Kafka-esque? It is. It's the Ganosaurus rex. You can't take it down for its sheer beauty. It's 2043. You take off your metaverse licensed headset. You return to bed. The name of the creature is a Ganosaurus rex.
So who gave the best wrong answer? Cast your vote at opencv.org/gameshow. Next week, we'll announce the winner, and their charity will receive $500 more thanks to the generosity of our sponsors at Intel.
Round 2 is in the books. Let's move on to round 3. Round 3 is the lightning round, where contestants will be asked a series of rapid-fire questions, one at a time, and must answer quickly. Each correct answer in round 3 is worth 128 points. But players have the opportunity to wager some of their points on the 3rd and 6th questions, which we call risk and reward. Let's go. According to software engineer and owner of the DNA Lounge nightclub, Jamie Zawinski, if you use this method to solve a problem, you now got 2 problems.
Oh God, there's so many rules of software engineering that are like this. I'm going to say some sort of reinforcement learning.
Answer, regular expressions, aka regex.
Regular expressions. Not that far off.
All right, question 2. Which famous neural network architecture cites this meme in their research paper?
That would be Inception.
That's correct. Let's move on. Question 3. Now this is risk and reward.
Let's do 256.
What 1989 underwater action movie was the first to include photorealistic CGI integrated seamlessly into live action scenes?
I don't know.
The answer was The Abyss. Question 4. One of the earliest examples of this visual effects technique is seen in the 1966 Japanese anime series Speed Racer. As Speed leaps from the Mach 5, he freezes in mid-jump, and then the camera does an arc shot from front to sideways.
It's like Matrix bullet time. They go woo, woo, back and forth.
Answer, bullet time. All right, question 5. In the early 1970s, many of the basic techniques of 3D computer graphics were developed in this university located in Salt Lake City.
I mean, Salt Lake City, it must be the University of Utah.
Answer, the University of Utah. Question 6. Risk and reward.
Let's do it all again. Yeah, I gotta throw it all in.
Question 6, risk and reward. This physicist and mathematician began working for NASA in the 1950s, where they were essential to the Mercury and Apollo 11 missions, and were later awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama in 2015.
I don't know.
All right, next up, Joseph, come on up. Question 1. LeNet was one of the first successful convolutional neural networks deployed commercially. Years later, researchers at Google named an influential architecture after LeNet as homage to Dr. Jan LeCun. What is the name of this architecture?
Named after Jan LeCun. Net. I don't know. Convolutional net.
Answer, GoogleNet. All right, question 2. In 2019, the self-driving car executive was indicted on 33 federal charges of alleged theft of self-driving car trade secrets in the case of Waymo versus Uber.
Ladowski? Ladowski?
That is Anthony Lewandowski.
Lewandowski.
Question 3, risk and reward.
Now let's just do it.
What 1973 science fiction western, written and directed by Michael Crichton and starring Yul Brynner, was the first feature film to use digital image processing? A little hint, a TV show based on the film debuted in 2016 on HBO.
We're looking for the movie name, not the show Westworld?
That is Westworld.
Oh, okay.
All right, question 4. This computer scientist worked on the Iliac 4 supercomputer and was later the first African American to be named to the Association of Computing Machinery.
I do not know who that is.
Answer is Clarence Skip Ellis. Question 5. What actor was originally cast as the Predator but was fired, depending on whose story you believe, either because he wasn't the same height as his co-stars, passed out in the suit too many times, or because he refused to stop doing moves like a kickboxer?
I don't know. I don't know.
The answer is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
Risk and reward. Do you want to risk it?
If I get it wrong, it's to stay ahead. Might as well do it all.
All right. This early device for displaying moving images was created by Edward Muybridge in 1879 and is considered an important predecessor of the movie projector.
Device for moving images. Predecessor of the projector.
Fliptogram?
Ooh, sorry, that is incorrect. Answer, Zooproxoscope. All right, Vikas, you are still in the lead.
All right.
A company is looking for an AI researcher with 10 years of experience in OpenVINO, TensorFlow, and PyTorch. This is impossible. Why?
I would say probably because none of those things existed 10 years ago.
Yes, none of these libraries are over 10 years old. Question 2. Which is the first production car to be approved for Level 3 autonomous driving based on internationally valid UN Regulation 157?
UN regulation. Probably it's not American. I don't really know cars that well anymore. I'll pass.
Question 3. Risk and reward. Do you want to risk it?
Let's risk it.
The 1985 science fiction film Daryl follows the story of yet another 10-year-old android. What did the acronym Daryl stand for?
Daryl. What do they do? Like, there's like a Knight Rider situation. Okay, I'm gonna guess driving artificial robot. Jan LeCun. Lynette. I don't know.
Answer, data analyzing robot youth life form.
Oh, yeah. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was close. I feel like I was close.
Question 4. Along with Jack Gilmore, this computing pioneer was one of the first two operators of MIT's Whirlwind, one of the earliest high-speed digital computers.
Don't know. Guess Marvin Minsky.
Answer, Joe Thompson. Question 5. What is the name of the American animator, composer, and inventor who is best known for the animated title sequence from Alfred Hitchcock's 1958 film Vertigo and is widely considered to be one of the fathers of computer animation?
No idea, but I'll just go with Ed Catmull from Pixar.
Answer, John Whitney Sr.
Good to know.
All right, question 6, risk and reward. It's a bit of a moot point here.
I'd like to risk 0.
The earliest successful AI program was a checkers playing application written in 1951 by Christopher Strachey at the University of Oxford. The program ran on what model of computer?
I'm going to go with, only computer I know from that era close at all is like ENIAC. An ENIAC 2.
Answer, Ferranti Mark 1. Hey, Phil, what are those final scores?
Yes, here's a look at those final scores. You can see what each contestant's charity will be taking home as a result of their effort here. Congratulations to Vikas Reddy, our first ever OpenCV AI Game Show champion.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, everyone, on our first ever episode. We did it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of forgot it halfway through. That's okay.
That's the show, folks. Go ahead and our panelists here, go ahead and unmute and decloak their. Does anybody want to, before we get in any deeper into it, got about 10 minutes left. Does anybody, we'll start with Kat, like any words about what it was like competing on the show?
Disorienting a little bit, to be honest. Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's room to grow on it, but I do think there's a lot of interesting stuff we could do down the road. Mm-hmm. But it's also a lot of work for Vikas, so.
Yeah, I'll say huge props to Phil and Yane from our team who did like 99.9% of the work. I feel like all I did was
me and Yane were definitely up some late nights the last 2-3 days. So thanks a lot, Yane, for sure. Vikas, any words about what it was like participating on the show and working on the set?
Yeah, it was super fun. I mean, it's like just like seeing it all come together. It was like up until the last minutes last night, and so, but yeah, when I saw the last couple of the clips posted by Phil, once he cut it together, it was just started to come together. It was pretty fun to see, and yeah, hopefully I'd be curious to hear from everyone else here. But like, it definitely was pretty fun to watch. Like I was actually watching with my kids this morning, just like some early teasers. So hopefully for everyone on the audience, it's much more exciting to watch that than just all of our faces on Zoom.
That's our hope. Honestly, that's really the whole. That's all we were trying to do. Just be more interesting than Zoom. Joseph, thoughts? Oh, can't hear you, bud.
Sorry, I'm on my phone.
Here we go.
I said way more interesting than Zoom. Ton of fun. The hard work that went in between OpenCV team, the Lifeless team, and Intel sponsorship to make it all possible with OpenCV was really thankful for that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Buzzing in, like I've read about how like Jeopardy buzzing in strategies, this whole subculture of like when to buzz, how to know when to buzz, and that sort of thing, and like being in the hot seat and having to compete against these rapid buzzing participant competitors, puts you in a different level of perspective on what that's like. But overall, it was a really good time, and I'm glad that I was able to be a part of the first.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
wanted a big red button to smash.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to build some kind of like custom Bluetooth dongle that you can just smash the button. I agree. It'll make it a lot nicer.
I think you can wire it up into the set.
Specifically Vikas and Phil, like shout out to both of you. I've been doing, as like a comedian and host, I've been doing a lot of like Zoom comedy shows or just like virtual like shows, and this was by far the coolest. Like that set was so cool to be in there and to like be in the same room with all of you. It was just a really amazing like what you can do. So I'm like excited to see more and play around more. It was really awesome.
Yeah, it was just great to have you as our host. Do you have any other thoughts generally just about the show, Luna?
I learned a lot from all of you. So thanks. Like, I'm like, wow, like, like just hearing your answers and like reading the answers and learning the answers is just like, I learned more about AI. Not enough, obviously, but it's just really cool. Like this whole world and field is really cool. So I'm excited. I really like I'm still thinking about like the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. So
yeah, Gibson, pretty smart guy in terms of prescience. Unfortunately, it'd be better if a lot of his more dystopian stuff didn't end up becoming true. But Satya, this is the first time you've seen the show. Like you went in cold. What do you think?
Oh, this was awesome. This was awesome, and some of the questions were very difficult. There were a few questions that I had contributed, but the ones that I had not, those were very difficult to answer.
I definitely.
I was surprised.
I worked with a friend of mine a little bit on some of these, and like he was like, "Dude, those questions are too hard." He made me change a bunch of them.
No, but if you first of all, the contestants were able to get many of them, so that's great. But I also noticed that the audience, some of the audience members were getting it also. So I think that's the right level. I'm just below average.
I feel like the audience members were crushing it more than we were. So
yeah, definitely. So shout out to Andrea in the chat there. Seems like just aced pretty much every question. And one of the not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but one of the things we'd like to do in the future, if we get to keep making these, is bring in people from the community to actually play, compete against each other. I think it could be a really fun way to, like Luna talked about, learning a lot about AI, and there's still so much to learn about AI because it's still such a relatively new field, and the communities around it are still kind of nascent and like new. So I think that's part of why something like this is so exciting, to try to coalesce everybody in the community around something fun and specific to their interest. One of the things that I'm going to encourage everybody who's still watching to do is go to opencv.org/gameshow and vote for your favorite wrong answers only. We did not say this in the show, but if you vote for wrong answers only, you will be entered for a chance to win one of 5 Oak D lights, free of charge. So you don't want to miss out on that. It's a hell of a device. Yeah. I mean, we're butting up on time. Any other thoughts from anybody else, or questions, or anybody want to yell at me on camera?
And well, one request to the audience, that please do go and register for that. That helps us show our sponsors at Intel that look, this was a great success and everything, and we will be able to do it again.
Yeah, the more we can show your numbers and your enthusiasm, the more likely we are to be able to make more of these, and we'd love to do it. Zach in the chat just asked, when is the next game show, and will the contestants be back? We don't know yet, and we don't know yet. I don't know. Maybe we have to have Vikas. Maybe we'll have a tournament of champions later.
Oh yeah,
I would love to see a bunch of professors do this. I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Take him down.
How can you teach if you don't know the answer to this?
Oh man, can you imagine? You get like an F from a professor. The professor's
Yeah.
like,
Phone a grad student.
Next
Yeah.
day to the class, you like just bring the video of them blowing it at trivia. Oh man.
PHP only challenge? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I mean, we're butting up
coding
on
challenge
time.
would be awesome.
Any announcements? Anything we want to plug? Where should we, Luna? Where should people go if they wanna contact you or follow you on the social medias?
Yeah, so like I'm all about like how to create really cool content with an eye for like equity and inclusion. So I like work in a lot of different domains, but just bring the same level of like hyper joy and fun and representation. And so if you want to see more about my work, just check out joychannel.org and follow Find Your Joy Channel, but just joychannel.org. Very simple.
Yeah, thanks.
I see.
Vikas, how about you?
Yeah, I'll say a quick thing. There's somebody that has a question about AI contestants, so we can talk about that maybe. But I mean, like one thing I was gonna say is just at Lightwist we just opened up a role for a founding computer vision engineer. So we're a pretty small team, 5 people full time, and just people especially with experience around things like segmentation, read lighting, have done some pretty extensive work around just retraining even existing algorithms, redoing architectures. Feel free to hit me up. I'm at Vikas at lightwist.io. And then, John D, I just saw your question about thoughts on an AI contestant.
Having an AI contestant, yeah.
Honestly, I think like it would have been interesting to see if GPT-3 would have been done better than us on an ant. Like I'd actually be really curious about that because I would bet it would be better because like some of those questions it could just have could just memorize a whole bunch of stuff.
It would just have context, right? Because I mean, that's a lot of trivia answers is just you kind of know this is related to this, and so it's a safe guess. And I feel like the AI would have a pretty serious advantage there. But I mean, it could be maybe that's a challenge for the future. A future episode is that we do an AI challenge where somebody competes against a bot. That'd be pretty interesting.
What's the show? Are you smarter than a 4th grader or whatever? Are you smarter than GPT-3?
Yeah.
Are you smarter than a bot? Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
If people want to follow you on the internet or check out what you're working on, where can they do that?
Well, so for me, it's K Scott Z, just my name with a Z at the end. And then Open Robotics is just generally around. We have our big ROSCON in October. That's going to be in Japan. If you're looking for something sooner and online, actually Open Hardware Summit is in about a month. It's a great show. We send out a lot of dev boards. It's a lot of fun. I would suggest taking a look at it.
Yeah, definitely. And Joseph.
I'm at Joseph of Iowa, as I was called out in the show. I'm just sort of like the token Iowan that folks have in their friend groups. As I described as well, and someone kind of made a good joke of at Robopol, we make developer tools, and we're also rapidly hiring, growing, and all those sorts of things. If you're building cool computer vision projects, we'd be eager to support you. I dropped a link for my own Twitter and Robopol's Twitter in the chat to follow along, keep up to date with what we're doing.
Yeah, thanks everybody for doing that. Our guest next week is scheduled to be Kenny Davis, the CEO of Action Face, who recently just won the pitch contest at South by Southwest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we worked with me and Vikas worked with him at Occipital briefly. Satya, you want to take us home?
Well, first of all, I really want to thank Luna for hosting the show. This was great. Your presence was awesome. All the contestants, we are all friends, but helping us do this show and giving away everything to charity. Thanks a lot. It really means a lot to us. Kat, Vikas, and Joseph, you're always welcome to the show, and you did a fantastic job. This is great. And I also want to thank our sponsors, Intel, OpenVino, for making this show possible. And last but not the least, the great effort by Phil Nelson, who basically, pulled it off along with the Lightwist team. So he's not been sleeping much. So I'm hoping that he'll eat a lot of sushi today and get some sleep.
Yeah,
so that's
definitely.
that's all. Also want to thank RoboFlow again. We did a recent Kickstarter campaign, and we had some stretch goal, and RoboFlow had agreed to do a small segment of our course. We missed the stretch goal, but RoboFlow was generous enough to let us do the help us make the material regardless.
What
so
a
thanks
guy!
Again.
What a guy! Oh, one
the
more thing.
The impressive showing from the community justifies it alone. We're thrilled to be partners and put together this course. Congrats on a great Kickstarter.
Oh, shucks. I do have one more thing, which is a big thank you to, I don't know if you noticed our outro music there, the credits music. That was an original song from the Mayflies, who have a 7-inch album coming out soon. So, extra special thanks to Henry Nelson and Jessica Nelson, the Mayflies.
Nice.
All right. Thank you, guys. And thanks, the audience. Really appreciate all the support. We are open to any suggestions you have for future game shows, because this was a format we just came up with, but we are open to any suggestions, including coding challenge. We had thought about many options, but we picked this one because it was the safest one for the first one. But that doesn't mean that we will not be able to accommodate other things in the future. So looking forward to your suggestions.
Yeah, definitely hit us up at hello@opencv.org.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
All right, bye.